One of the hot storylines on Days these days continues to keep beloved super couple Will and Sonny apart. It seems that ever since greedy grifter Leo Stark came to Salem, machination after machination has transpired through blackmail, jail time, secret alliances, and more. But with any good soapy romance, the audience roots for their favorite duo to overcome all odds to be together. Can Wilson finally be reunited once and for all? Here to chat on all the latest developments, welcome Daytime Emmy winners Chandler Massey and Freddie Smith.
Fresh off the set, makeup still applied. Or you usually take yours off, right?
Yeah.
You're like, you wipe it off, right? You're done.
I wait till I get home and I wash it off. Yeah, you're always like, boom, 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 real quick.
Because otherwise I'll break out if I don't.
Yeah.
Get rid of it quickly.
Yeah.
Well, there was quite the cliffhanger that fans of Days just watched, where Sonny sees that Marlena is chatting with Victor, and before that, Diana was cutting some deal with him. I want you guys to listen to this clip, and then we'll talk about it. It's pretty juicy.
Sonny, what's up? So check this out. Uncle Vic just cut a deal with Leo's mom to get him out of our lives.
What kind of deal?
I'm not sure, but I think it has something to do with your grandmother.
You and Diana have history?
Bad history. When I found out that she was Leo's mother, I've had my people keeping close tabs on her. It seems she's had several private encounters with your husband.
I'm aware that John has met with her.
Are you aware that he's keeping a secret from you?
What kind of a secret?
When Diana left Salem all those years ago, she was pregnant. With John's child.
No, I'm sure that's not true.
I'm afraid it is. John is Leo Stark's father.
Bombshell.
Oh,
Bombshell. Bombshell. So what do you think will happen if you guys realize that this is what's going on, that Leo is John's bio son?
It'll be a bigger thorn in our side.
It'll
Thanksgiving will be more
Yeah.
uncomfortable. We'll put him at the kids' table.
Yeah. Don't you think that Will feel so terrible for Marlena now?
Oh, absolutely. Just because, she would feel lied to in some way. Omission of the truth can be considered a lie, I guess. And also he himself would probably be very upset because this means just another reason why they can't get rid of this guy, can't get him out of town. Now if he has a legitimate connection to the Salemites, then it's going to be even harder.
And then he would be Paul's half brother too.
Which makes it even worse.
He would be Will's uncle.
Will's uncle.
That's right. Yeah.
There's been so much that has kept Will and Sonny apart ever since Will got his memory back. He got his memory before that, but then Will gets his memory back, and then there's the whole issue with Paul, and the guys decided we're going to keep ourselves apart for the good of Paul, and we're not going to do that. They're so upstanding, they're going to let Paul be okay. What did you think, though, when Christopher left the show and that arc finally kind of resolved itself and you guys had to say goodbye to him?
Well, I was sad. I think we both were sad.
Yeah.
Christopher, phenomenal actor, human being. I think we both really enjoyed working with him. And anytime we have, a beloved character leave the show, it's always sad.
Yeah, because we built a lot. It was like the tripod. You know what I mean? We lost 1/3 of the straight to tape gang.
Yeah,
They were the straight to tape gang. That's right.
that's right.
So now it's down to us too.
Are you still the straight to tape kind of gang?
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
the straight to tape gang still. But we lost our third wheel
Yeah.
there. So yeah,
We're accepting applications for new.
You'd like to
Member.
apply.
Yeah.
I'd like to apply. Yeah, we have strict standards.
Yeah, very
What were
strict.
the standards?
It's just straight to tape. It's got to be
You got-
well rehearsed in the dressing room. You have to walk up and you just nail it in one take. The
Yeah.
Golden Glove.
And he was able to
that-
do that.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, for sure.
He was awesome. Yeah.
My God. So the two of you have now this interloper, Leo Stark. Will and Sonny have this interloper in their relationship. When you first heard about this, did they tell you what was going to happen, or did you read it in a script that all of a sudden Leo shows up in town? And how did you find out what the arc of the story was going to be?
Well, I just read it in the script. It's delivered to my dressing room.
I tell you what, when there's a knock at the Kyriakis mansion door, there could be like a revolving door of you and I opening doors and being like, oh, who is
Yeah.
this? So yeah, it was definitely a surprise. I remember just reading it though and being like, this is going to be insane.
Do you remember when you rolled Leo up in the carpet? It was part of like, did you like that caper? Because you got to see Will and Sonny in a different vein. It was a bit comedic.
I feel like it's an adjustment of like tone, because we have like a nice balance of very serious, like deep scenes, and also the scenes like that where we're rolling up this dude in a rug, and the stakes are still real and high, but it's also so absurd that you can't help but acknowledge that. So it was fun, but I think it was challenging to find like the sweet spot of like how are we going to play that and have people believe that we're freaking out, but also be able to enjoy the humor behind it.
It's just separating sometimes you don't have to do it like consciously.
Yeah.
It's like, but like there's times when you're doing scenes like that where deep down as people we're going, this is ridiculous and fun and awesome.
Right.
But you're just like, oh my God, we're gonna be accused of murder and we're gonna go to prison, and like our tears are welling up in our eyes, and but deep down you're just like, we're rolling up a bunch of bags packed with paper in a rug right now. So no, we have a good time doing it though. It's fun to get out there and do like action stuff as well.
What I think has been great about this is how far Days has come with the LGBT characters, because a lot of times gay characters on television shows are portrayed as really good guys. They're halos on their head, the halos don't get knocked off, and they bring in Leo, who's been pretty awful.
Yes.
But people are like that. There are shady gay guys. There are shady people everywhere.
Yeah.
And I think Days has done such a great job with that. Can you speak to that a little bit too? And I mean, his dialogue is so funny too. And then you guys get to play off of that.
Yeah, no, I think, and even Greg mentioned to me that someone actually commented like that they were upset about like shedding light on Leo in such a negative way, or like to the LGBT community. And Greg, I remember telling me, he goes, that's just like, it's just normal. Like there are evil people regardless of your,
Sexual orientation.
Yeah. So I think it's very important to show that. And Days has just continued to just go next level. I mean, we have continued to tell these love stories. I mean, the fact that we waited how long until it was like a year and a half before we actually got together on Valentine's Day and made love for the first time. I mean, what I mean? I guess it's never cliche. Ever since back in 2011, they're like, we're going to tell a true love story. And they have done that. People like really have gone on this roller coaster with Will and Sonny.
That's what I'm saying. They've done you guys, like any couple worth their salt on a daytime drama, they have given you guys every obstacle in the way to be together. When you have that kind of scene where people want to see that, they want to see the couple together, do you guys feel pressure going into those scenes, or is it just a normal day?
Yeah, I think it comes just natural at this point. Like, and we're on the ride with the characters. Like if someone were to come in and all of a sudden that they'd have to but we've been on this ride too. So we feel it, we feel the roller coaster. We feel the big moment happening. And, but we're just blessed that we get along and we work well together. So it's just easy. Not easy, but I mean, like just the chemistry is easy in the sense that it's not like we have to really dig down deep.
Well, we've talked about this before, how Freddie's
headline, Freddie Smith says acting is easy.
But aren't you like didn't you say to me in an interview, or you did, that when you look at Freddie and you go into the character, it's right there. Like he's just right there. The love is just right in his face, in his eyes. It just goes right there.
Yes, it's sort of automatic. I feel like it just as soon as the countdown starts, we just sort of slip into that.
It's almost like a lens comes down, and then it's like I'm looking at a different like soul almost. Like you can definitely see I'm looking at a character, because even today, it won't air for a while, but like you made a bit during or the rehearsal,
yeah,
and you could see it was like Chandler like goofing around being funny, but then as soon as we did it in the real scene, you were like so like sad, and like it was like I was like, oh, so you just see a switch. So yeah, we just go back and forth, and it's just after doing 700 some episodes, you just kind of get into the groove, and you find it's just about comfort, I think, is what allows us to be free.
So what can you preview now that Will and Sonny, they've gotten out of jail, they've been told by Justin they have to stay apart, they can't be holding hands and skipping around town, they can't hang out, they can't be together. What do you see them doing next here? What would you preview for the fans of the show?
I would say I see them doing all that stuff anyway.
Behind
And
closed doors.
they pick up golf.
Yeah, yeah, It's just funny because I think at least in Will's mind, it makes it sort of these attempts to belittle the relationship. He thinks that like we're not, 13-year-old kids like being told by our parent like don't see this person who's a bad influence. You know what I mean? I think so. I would imagine
than that.
Yeah, well, I would imagine that. I mean, they've been through so much that this is just. I mean, this is not going to keep them. You know what I mean?
No.
It's not going to.
Even if you have to dress up as Santa Claus again.
Santa Claus will come again.
Yeah, right. Even if
exactly.
even if he has to don a disguise and yeah.
What did you think of the wedding scenes with Leo and Sonny and Sheila presiding? Those were very funny lines, and your comedic timing was really brilliant in that. And that the whole thing was just played with the laughter of it.
Yeah.
But the seriousness and the levity of the situation. So
yeah.
Did you not break out into laughter during that, or did you?
It was one of the harder days because I wasn't saying much.
You're reacting a lot.
Because if you're angry and you're deep down like want to laugh, you can allow the anger to overcome your ability to want to like laugh or cry. But if you just have to sit there straight faced, like you're not exuding an emotion. So I couldn't look at him. If you really, really watch the episode again, like I would only look at him when my peripheral would notice that he wasn't looking. Because if I turned and caught eyes with him,
that would be
it's over. So I had to sit there and so I couldn't enjoy it until I watched it because I was
so
suffering.
funny to watch back. Like it's a really funny scene.
And anger is such an active emotion that it's really difficult. It's easy. It's much easier when you have a bunch of lines, but when you have to listen and like hate what's going on and be angry, but you don't actually get to express that through words. Sometimes it can be challenging. Because like, what do you? I mean, in real life, you sit there, you stew, and then eventually you explode.
Yeah. Well, Will's been punching out Leo a few times, right?
Yes.
Will's been actually the physical one here.
It's a nice outlet.
It's a nice outlet, a punching bag for him. Yeah. So that is a continual thing. That's what he wants to do, like beat up the guy.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And I think he's got a fuse that's short enough that against his better judgment, he has to. His fist moves on its own sometimes.
So Deidre Hall has been ingrained in the story as well now, where she's really come to the defense of Will against Leo, which has pitted her and John kind of against each other. And then we don't know originally why that's happening, because at that point she doesn't know that he believes Leo is his biological son. What can you say about, though, Marlena and all this, and what will Will come to and protect her in any way? Because she's going to get, we talked about this a little bit earlier, she's going to get hurt in all of this, right? Because he did not tell her the truth that he believes.
I wish I could say that's what Will does. I think it's more he's the one being protected by Marlena. She steps in and takes Leo to task because Will doesn't know how to do that with words, only with fisticuffs. Yeah, fisticuffs. So I think he's there for her, but she sort of, I don't know if he's able to like soften the blow of what's to come.
Not good.
But she can handle it. She's always, Marlena's character is like the strongest.
Marlena.
She's the strongest person in Salem,
Right. Ultimately, if Sonny and Will found out that Leo had been abused as a child and had gone through things that he had gone through, do you think they would soften towards him in any way, even though the destruction that he caused them? Do you think they would have any empathy for the guy?
Sonny would have empathy. Will would
would just clock him. Will would just clock him no matter what.
Yeah. That about sums it up.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, I need to let you go. Thank you so much. This was a treat.
Thanks for having us.
So look for Chandler and Freddie and the Wilson drama to continue on Days of Our Lives. Watch episodes streaming on NBC.com and the NBC app.